So my Rise of the Duelist box is just missing. It was supposed to arrive like last weekend. It was supposed to arrive like on the day it released, and then it was supposed to arrive the day after, and then the day after that was, I believe, was Sunday. But it was supposed to arrive well over a week ago at this point, and it's still not here. So, thanks to all the idiots out there who think wearing a mask is a government conspiracy to control you. It's not. Sorry to burst your bubble there. But anyways, not to get too political here, but instead, because taking the time to do the testing videos, because I need to record in batches, it takes a little bit longer than doing this. We're just gonna go over really quickly everything we need for the sealed only DDD, as well as kind of going over what the current plan is for that. So let's go ahead and jump into the hardcore necessity stuff, and then we'll kind of do the not so necessary stuff. If you hear metal clinking, I'm just playing with my rings. First on the list, we already have one Flame King Genghis, and that is actually pretty good. However, if we want to be able to do the big full combos and stuff, we're gonna need to get a second Flame King Genghis. So at some point, we are going to revisit the 2016 Megaton A. However, you can buy the promo packs online. So what I was going to do is, whenever we hit that point and start, looking for those, was do some sort of poll on Twitter or something, or ask you all or whatever, and just be like, hey, are we going to allow buying the promo packs, or do we want to move away from that? So we'll burn that bridge when we get there. But first and foremost, one of the things we need to check out the list, not necessarily soon, but preferably before we start getting the unnecessary stuff, we need to check a second Flame King Genghis off the list. So that'll come at some point. Next, we also need to cover Flame High King Genghis and Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn is actually going to be it's not super necessary, but is a nice thing to help us recur, and if it's in our hand, bring back Lamia if we have full combo. It's just a nice thing to kind of extend combos. It's a nice extender. Or on occasions, if our opponent has something in the graveyard, we can just yoink that and then use it to our own advantage if we need to. It's just kind of Monster Reborn is just a good way to extend plays, as well as it's fairly easy to pull out of the packs it's in. And then Flame High King Genghis is just another kind of like an extender. It also revives DDD monsters, and then during our turn, it can also negate a spell or trap. So it can't stop anything like Dark Ruler no more, but it can't stop stuff like Called by the Grave. It can stop it can't stop Mystic Mine, actually, but it can stop a Metaverse if our opponent tries to Metaverse for a Mystic Mine. It can do a lot of fun things, and it's just a good, useful card. So that's another thing. Both of those actually come in the 2019 Gold Sarcophagus Megaton, which is a really nice product because it also has the potential of a Boral Sword Dragon. And while I don't think we're going to use Boral Sword Dragon in here, that's just a nice card to have more of, especially because I only have one, so the more I have, the merrier. So we're going to go for the 2016 Megaton A, and we might just go for the promos there. Then we're also going to go for the Gold Sarcophagus Megaton, and then kind of continuing with the Megatons here. This is a lot. The 2020 Tin of Lost Memories actually looks bonkers. It looks insane. We are going to visit that because there's Borreload Savage Dragon, and I think that pulling Savage out of there is going to be a lot easier than pulling Savage out of Savage Strike. Also, Savage Strike is kind of expensive. So yeah, I was thinking that we, when we're in the gauntlet of Megatons searching for stuff, we're definitely going to hit that up. If possible, we can hit that up as soon as it releases. So in a week or two. I would like to hit that as soon as we can, but we'll see where we are. There's a possibility of Dragoon, the elephant in the room when it comes to that Megaton. And the thing about Dragoon is that I don't know how well it fits into DDD, and it's so degenerate. Farfa actually did a really funny video on it, so I'll link that in the description, I guess. And if you haven't seen it and you're watching my content, thank you, I appreciate it actually. But I would consider that another part of the degenerate strategies in Yu-Gi-Oh! There are ways around it. My friend went out of his way to build a degenerate deck. It was Numeron, Mystic Mine, Dragoon, Synchro, like the Jet Synchron Synchro combos. It was like the funniest, most hilarious thing ever because it's all these degenerate pieces, but it bricks so hard if you don't get anything you need. And he was able to get out Dragoon, to which another friend, she just set down a Kaiju on top of it. Friend 1 got out Dragoon, friend 2 dropped a Kaiju on it. It was really funny. So Dragoon does have its weaknesses. So I would consider it a degenerate strategy, but it's not like some ridiculously broken degenerate strategy that we'll never be able to beat. It's, it has its weaknesses, but it's still not the greatest. And, while I think the TCG is prepared for it, I don't necessarily want to run it, but it will be an option because, let's face it, my luck in pulling stuff is not great. I'm kind of shocked we got all the DDD cards and we pulled those out of fucking structure decks. So yeah, Dragoon is a potential for us, but we'll burn that bridge when we get there. Which actually does lead directly to the next thing. This is just a lot of, leads into one into the other and everything. So the pieces of Dragoon are Red Eyes Fusion, Dark Magician, Red Eyes Black Dragon. So the Legendary Dex 2 has Where Art Thou in it as a guaranteed card. And again, if you've seen my luck with anything, I'm not lucky. I can't pull stuff. I'm not good at it. But if it's guaranteed, we should probably go for it. And they have Where Art Thou in there. And then there's also a Cyber Structure deck, I believe. It's one of the Cybers decks. It's either the Structure or the Starter deck. But one of them also has Where Art Thou in it. My reason for getting the Legendary Dex 2 is, one, the box is shiny. And my, goblin mind, wants it, And then also, it's just nostalgia, I guess, because I grew up watching the Duel Monsters series and then none of the others except last year I watched all of Arc 5, almost all of Arc 5, but it's just a nice nostalgia thing. And I can also find those actually. I have gone to a couple different Walmarts and Targets and one of the 2 local game stores here because the other one doesn't really sell Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. And I've seen more of the Legendary Dex 2 than the Cyber Structure / Starter deck. So actually the Legendary Dex 2 is a bit more openly available to me. So it's just going to be an easier thing, especially with, again, Rise of the Duelist hasn't been here for an entire week. So don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, so we're going to try and go for 2 Where Art Thou out of those. So that'll just be 2 back-to-back. We'll probably get that and then a couple more. One of those and then a couple more Battles of Legend Armageddon for Cross Sheep. So we're going to hit that and then use the Battles of Legend Armageddon packs to fill out the rest of the quota, fill out the rest of the budget. So that's kind of what I'm thinking there. So because we do have a lot of draw power cards, we have Allure of Darkness, we're going to get Where Art Thou, we have one for one, Dark Contract with the Gate, Allure of Darkness, etc., 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 etc. We are susceptible to hand traps like Ash Blossom, Effect Veiler, Ghost Mourner, Nibiru. This Nibiru isn't really affected by this card, but hand traps do kind of So Called by the Grave is also going to be nice, which comes out in Flames of Destruction, and I believe it comes out in a couple of different things. I believe it also comes out in it comes out in Dual Devastator. Yeah, Dual Devastator is where it's guaranteed, but if we want to get 3 Called by the Grave, that would be 3 Dual Devastator episodes, and while that would give us playsets of all the hand traps, it would be really nice and kind of give us a much better side deck. I don't think you'll want to watch me open Dual Devastator 3 weeks in a row, we aren't going to use the Saryuja or the Topologic Bomber Dragon. Some of the synchros in there are potentially useful, but we can, test that stuff out later. And, depending on if I get the Rise of the Duelist up in this upcoming week, next week will most definitely be another testing video, but we'll just kind of see what happens with that. So Called by the Grave, we're either going to visit Flames of Destruction or Dual Devastator. I haven't figured that out yet. And really the purpose of this video, if you guys have any suggestions on what to go for here to pull some of these, that'd be really nice, because while I know that Flame Hiking Genghis is a common of Soul Fusion, it's not shiny. And again, my goblin brain wants the shiny, And then another thing that we aren't great at pulling is Maximum Crisis DD Ghost. We just need one more. It's a common in there. I was thinking at some point just to spite the set, do a whole episode of $40 on Maximum Crisis and almost guarantee we pull it. And then if we don't pull it out of there, it's just not meant to be and we run 1 DD Ghost. So yeah, that's kind of the current roadmap in no particular order. The big kind of combo pieces, because really DDD has kind of like a set core, kind of like any other deck. And really, while we have the 3 Ghost, 3... What? Well, we have the 3 Swirl Slime, 3 Necro Slime, 3 Lamia, 3 Gate, 3 Kepler, 3 Abyss King Ragnarok. Well, we have the core set of the deck. We're still missing at least 1 or 2 Where Art Thou. I'm going to go for 2 just because I've been doing a lot of like test hands with like the physical deck. And in most of these, I end up with like Swirl Slime or Necro Slime or Lamia and not the other pieces. And then I'll have like Gate or Allure of Darkness or some other stuff. And just more ability to get Lamia, and I believe Necro Slime is the level 1. Or Kepler if we need it. But the more chance we have of getting those in hand, the better. So I'm going to go for 2 Where Art Thou. And then... yeah, that's kind of the roadmap. And oh, Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. We also need Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, which is Shining Victories or Dual Power. Yeah, so I was thinking Dual Power because that's just like, it's just one of my favorite sets in Yu-Gi-Oh! But you know, we'll kind of play that one by ear, see what's, I guess, available. For the less necessary stuff, Cursed Necrofear is a tech option I talk about a lot and hype up a lot, and I do still think that it's a really good tech option, but it is not necessary. It's a very optional card. It's one I want to play, but you know, it's not super necessary. So as usual, Legendary Duelist Immortal Destiny, the Yami Bakura set is kind of our only way to get it. So that'll be fun. And then I've seen 1 or 2 deck lists that run Chaos Dragon Levianeer in DDD decks because you banish all the dark monsters, and then because you banish only dark, you can rip a card out of your opponent's hand. I believe that's the right effect. So I was thinking we can test that out maybe. We've pulled quite a few Levianeer, but you know, it's here, and if we need, I believe we pulled 2, so if we need a 3rd, we can go for it, but I can't imagine we will. And then, yeah, we have Rise of the Duelists coming in. That'll give us DD Dog, because DDD Wave High King Caesar is a pretty good card for, I believe it's Spell and Trap negations. It's a negation card. It's a good card for negations. And DD Dog, while not the best support, none of the support in Rise of the Duelists for DDD is good. I would say it's all pretty bad. But DD Dog is the best one, and then if we're able to pull 3 Tactical Talents or Forbidden Droplets out of it, we're going to use it. It's going to be in the side deck at the very least. So this is more like, it was going to be something that I open on launch day and then release it that weekend, and it's kind of more like, you know, hey, this is popular, everyone will click on it. Now it's just kind of like, well, you're late, homie. Well, what you're gonna do? Yeah, that's kind of the current roadmap. You know, I wanted to do something today that doesn't take up a whole lot of time because finals are killing me. So I didn't want to take up a whole lot of time, but I also wanted to give you all content because I hate missing uploads. So we're in a weird time right now. Normally I would have been able to just like go out and buy a box, but like the local place is selling them for a ridiculous amount. I'm not about that life, Chief. I was able to get it cheaper online. It's just not here yet. So c'est la vie. That's the current roadmap, and you know, we'll see how everything plays out. You know, we do have a while until YCS has come back. I believe YCS Charlotte was canceled. So we'll kind of have to see what happens. In case you can't tell by my accent and my upload schedule, I live in the US where almost half the country is taking the current pandemic as a joke. So I kind of have to stay locked up so that I don't, you know, die of coronavirus because I have weak lungs. Anyways, this is definitely a weirder video, so, you know, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for giving me the watch time and actually, like, making it through. But yeah, let me know what you think of the more discussion type videos. You know, this is just a bit easier, a bit more fun. Not a bit more fun, just a bit easier, a bit more direct communication. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. That's kind of the current plan, so fingers crossed, and like, you know, I don't believe in superstitions or luck, but I've heard that the more you hit the like button, the more Konami gives me lucky packs. I don't some arbitrary bullshit like that. But if you hit the like button, good things happen to me, and then by proxy, good things happen to you because we are a very, 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 very small community. I believe we are a community of currently 66 people, including me. So 67, 2 more. We're almost there. Anyways, thank you guys so much. I'm Destroy48, and I'll see y'all next time.